I'm singing in the streets, about to get it in. Talking about some drinking and some mingling. Oh, can't believe what I'm seeing, man. All these girls love.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the Solo Dolo II?
Solo Dolo Part 2. Solo Dolo Part 2 came around because I was working on sampling Manahan Street Band, who I sampled for the original Solo Dolo. And I had the idea, I was like, man, I want to do a Solo Dolo Part 2, but I want to go and fuck with the same band to keep it cohesive with their sound and shit. Yeah. And they do have a particular sound. So I went in, I listened to their album, and I heard a couple songs that stuck, and then this one in particular was like, oh yes. This is like, and if you play songs back, if you play Solo Dolo Part 1 and Solo Dolo Part 2 back to back, it's weird, it's trippy, because it works. It just sounds like they were meant to live together, and it sounds like a continuation, because one thing you gotta realize, one thing you gotta realize is that Solo Dolo had no drums really, and Solo Dolo Part 2 is this is like, turned up like drums all day, you know what I'm saying? And it was just about like, I always wanted to enhance that song in some way, and this was my way of doing it. And I look at Kendrick Lamar as like the kind of like a new Solo Dolo, like a nigga that's just doing his thing and just killing it. And like, look, I got my cosign, but I don't really need nobody. I'm hot on my own and shit. And it was just perfect. And he came in, and I had my verse. I didn't have a hook yet. He came up with the hook and his verse.
Wow.
On the spot. And that's what, collaborations are fun for me, because you get a chance to see who could really do it and who can't.
Yeah.
Like, you get a chance. When you do collaborations, it's kind of, that's the test to see if you was built for this business, if you're really skilled at what you do. You get in the studio with a motherfucker and they can't, sometimes it's just the creative energy isn't there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just no inspiration. Yeah. But, you get in the studio with motherfuckers, you got a dope-ass beat, and they sitting there and they can't write to it. And they're like, oh, man, I got to take the beat home, man. I got to figure it out. A lot of features didn't come to pass because motherfuckers just couldn't fuck with the beats or couldn't figure it out. Because maybe they just couldn't find the flow, or they couldn't come up with an idea, or they just, who knows?
Yeah.
But that ain't my fault, I really totally, like, it was a bummer because I had a lot of people that I wanted to work with, but I know that not everybody can like lock in and connect with the frequency, and the music is so, like, when you hear the beats on it, it's so abstract and different and unorthodox. Yeah. I mean, I because I'm new to making beats, and because I have this anarchist sensibility about myself and in my mind, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna lay my drum pattern down like this, because I know nobody's ever heard it like that, and this shit is about to sound ill, and it's gonna change up here, and then it's gonna be this, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm gonna use the 808, but I'm not gonna tune that bitch. It's just gonna be like boom, 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 like back in the day when you just heard that solid one note, and that shit was hard enough to like lock into, so there's no, like, a lot of songs, there's no bass line, it's just that boom, boom, like King Wizard, for example. Yeah. When that hook come in, it's like boom, 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 boom. It's just all bass. Yeah. Like, I could have easily tuned that like boom, 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 boom. Like, I could have tuned that shit up mad quick, but it's like, man, that's doing too much. The bow, 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 bow. That shit is enough on its own. Let's just keep the kick in there to just bring that bass out, just to give it some rhythm and shit, and just let it be, and put a little bing here and there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, man, that's
we getting a lesson from Carter.
Yeah,
man.
I know, man. I'm over here taking notes, man.
Well, this is a first for me to act. Like, it's exciting to talk about it. This is new, making beats, and to see people interested. Yeah. And asking me about it, it's cool, because when my previous work was just about asking me about the raps.
I'm just what you made, God. Not many I trust. I'ma go my own way, God. Take my fate to wherever you want. I'm out here on my son. Won't stop.